Usually our guests on Rockline have an album out or about to be released, and John Anderson is an exception. He has two, one with Yes, 9012 Live, and a sparkling Christmas album, Three Ships. And Rockline welcomes John Anderson. John, welcome back.
Thanks a lot, Bob. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to have you here this evening. You are seemingly involved in one project after another. Is it fair to say you're a workaholic?
My wife Jenny thinks I'm a workaholic, that's for sure.
And secondly, the work that you've done in Three Ships, we're going to listen to some of that tonight, is really very, very good. You worked with Roy Thomas Baker, and who else? You worked with some choirs, and I believe the USC Orchestra on this record. Is that correct?
Yeah, one of the things that started after Roy Thomas Baker, he introduced me to Bob Esty, one of the great musicians around Los Angeles, along with a computer guy called Rhett Lawrence, who's a marvelous guy. And then eventually we got involved with Sandra and Andre Crouch, who are beautiful people, gospel singers. They brought a choir in. We actually went down to USC to check out the musicians down there, and we found this wonderful orchestra, and they came up to the studio and helped me with one or two songs. And a few kids came in and sang some songs with me, so it was quite a fun sort of escapade and an adventure in itself.
It's one of those records that, of course, is very timely with the Christmas season coming in, and one of those albums that just makes you feel good. Let's listen to a song from it now, from the LP Three Ships by John Anderson. Easier said than done on Rockline. It's Rockline on the Global Satellite Network. I'm Bob Coburn with John Anderson. That is from the album Three Ships. Easier said than done is the name of that. Nice touch. Fine piece of work. We'll speak with Manuel. He is in Reseda, California, listening to 95.5 KLOS. You're on the Rockline, Manuel.
Hello, John?
Hi there.
Hi, John. How you
doing? I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I feel so great to talk to you. Finally. How have you been?
I've been having a good time this year. You know, I've been working with the band and getting this album together.
I really want to congratulate you on your new album. It's a really pretty album.
Thanks a lot.
And I also would like to know if you're going to do any solo tours.
Well, I just got to wait and see how the album goes. I hope to try and do a concert maybe in New York before Christmas. It depends how things go. And as far as doing a tour, there's so many projects to get on with. I'm going to wait until maybe next summer to tour with Yes, and then we'll see how we go in terms of a solo tour. I'm not sure.
Thank you for the call, Manuel. We appreciate it. And you're right, it is a very pretty record. We'll go to Baltimore now. 98 Rock is our station. Ken, you're on the Rockline with us.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Hi, Ken.
Hey, John, I really like the work that you've been doing, especially your solo work. I was wondering if maybe you might ever do some more stuff with Vangelis, possibly.
Well, it's interesting. The middle of this year, we got together and wrote about 10, 12 songs together, thinking that we were going to put an album out this year. But with the commitments that Vangelis had and the things that I was doing, we decided to wait until maybe early next year to release something. But we're still great friends, and we love each other. That's the main thing. So we'll just have to wait and see, Ken.
That'd be nice to see the two of you do some projects together again. Well, Vangelis wrote the last song we just heard, didn't he?
Yeah, well, actually, we wrote it together. It's just a misprint there.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah,
huh?
we were in Paris 3 years ago, and we wrote that song, and we wrote a couple more, which really related to the Christmas spirit, but we never released them. And when I told Vangelis I was making a Christmas album, I said, I've got to use this song because it's such a lovely song. And he gave it the blessing and said, go with it, man. He was looking forward to hearing the finished product.
Thank you for the call, Ken. And those of you that have the album, that's a misprint. That song was co-written by John Anderson. It's Rick's turn. He's in South Orange, New Jersey, listening to 92.3 New York's K-Rock, which is where John is located tonight. Rick, you're on the air.
Hi, John. How you doing?
I'm fine. New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey. I saw your last tour. I thought you were great. Thank you for all the great music. And my question is, what differences do you see between the current Yes lineup with Trevor Rabin and Tony Kaye and the last Yes lineup you were involved in with Steve Howe and Rick Wakeman?
That's an interesting question. I think Trevor has brought a lot of the aggressive rock and roll attitude. He's a very, very strong musician as well as being a groovy rock and roller. A great singer and a good songwriter. Tony Kaye, you see, he started with the group in 1968. So in some ways,
We will try and get back to the latter half of John's answer for that question in just one moment. We're having a telephone problem or a satellite problem. I'm not sure which. John, if you can hear me, remember that thought. And we're going to play some music right now on Rockline and the Global Satellite Network. The name of the album is 9012 Live, The Solos. This is Yes with Hold On Rockline. Hold On from 9012 Live by Yes on Rockline and the Global Satellite Network. I apologize for what happened a moment ago. It was either President Reagan's Star Wars system or Halley's Comet early. We're not sure which. Something blitzed through the studio here and cut Rick right off of the air. Rick, we're going to put you back on. You can re-ask your question, and John will finish his answer.
Okay, John,
Hey.
my question was, what are the differences you see between Yes Now and Yes, that the Yes lineup you were formerly involved with Steve Howe and Rick Wakeman?
Okay, here we go. I think that Trevor brought a lot of the young rock and roll feel into the band, which was good for the moment. 1980s is rock and roll, and Trevor Horn helped to develop the production side of that. And Tony Kaye, he was one of the original founder members of the band, brought in a little bit more of stability within the group in terms of just getting on together, I think. Whereas in the 70s, we had a kind of very happy-go-lucky situation with Steve Howe, as you know, one of the innovators of the guitar, electric guitar, and the same with Rick Wakeman. So it was a great moment to be working with those guys then, but it is also fascinating to be working with Tony, one of the original Yes members, and obviously Trevor Rabin, a new guy, very, very exciting musician and a very, very talented songwriter.
So, Rick, it sounds like a win-win situation that John's involved in there. Thank you for being patient, Rick, and thank you, John, for re-answering the question. We'll take a brief time out. We have more music from Three Ships by John Anderson, plenty more telephone time with John, and in a way, we're just getting started with Mr. Anderson. Once again, Rockline returns on the Global Satellite Network. I'm Bob Coburn. My guest is John Anderson right now. Our next call is from Philadelphia, listening to 94 YSP. We've got Mike on our show. Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Mike.
John, man, love your work, man. I don't want to, overdo it like everybody else is doing.
Hey.
Good stuff, man.
No, I love Philadelphia, I got to tell you.
You guys going to do another Twilight show like in 76, you think?
I think we'll probably do a summer tour.
All right.
Look forward to that.
Question for you. Got a couple maybe, if I can get them in. Chris Rainbow worked with you on, as far as I can tell, I don't know if you were Elias' son, Hillo, but he worked with you on Song of Seven and animation.
That's right.
Did he also work on Three Ships?
No, I just met Chris Rainbow a couple of times, and he came and helped me with one or two songs. Actually, Chris is a great friend. He lives on a small island in the north of Scotland called the Isle of Skye, and he's one of the most beautiful singers and beautiful people that I've ever worked with. It's just that, you work together for maybe a year or so on a couple of projects, and then you lose touch. And I did the album Three Ships in Los Angeles, so it was not on my mind to start ringing Chris up. But we're still very good friends,
Thanks for the call, Mike. We appreciate you being on the show. It's Alex's turn. He's in Cleveland. Our station is WMMS, home of the Buzzard. What's happening, Alex?
Hello, John. How you doing?
I'm fine.
It is an honor to talk to you. It really is. And I want to congratulate you guys on all the 90125 work you've done. It's absolutely fantastic and an example for all of us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I've got two questions for you. The first one is, on It Can Happen, right in the beginning of Trevor Rabin's guitar solo, there is someone talking. It sounds like that they're in the sound booth or something. What is that?
Wow, you got very good ears. I never heard that. I must have a listen to that.
Okay, I listened to. I think I've worn out 2 albums so far. I constantly listen to it.
Wow.
The second question is, what is your advice, or how would someone starting off in the music business? Where do they go? What do they do?
That's a pretty hard question. It's definitely a question of enjoying your work and enjoying being a musician and hoping that people will start to enjoy what you do, and perseverance, a lot of practice, and a lot of patience, because it's a very, very slow developing road, you know, and it's just one of those things you've got to accept. If you're going to take the job on to be a musician, you've got to accept that it isn't just a quick 2-year trip. It's your life. It's a lifetime, you know.
So you got to have that commitment there, and we appreciate your call, Alex. We'll talk with Christine now in Spring Hill, Florida. Sounds warm, sounds nice. She's listening to 95 YNF in Tampa. Hi.
Hello, John. I'm very happy to be speaking with you right now.
Hi there.
I've got basically 2 questions. First, I would like to know if maybe you might remember me from Lakeland, Florida, last April, '84. I made you and the members of Yes buttons with your names.
Buttons.
With the silver background, black letters, and music.
Oh, yeah. The
those
Lakelands.
buttons.
Those buttons.
Those buttons. Well, that's,
Yeah.
and that was the best concert I've ever seen in my entire life. I think your album is delightful. And I would like to know how Trevor Rabin helped on there. What exactly did he do?
Well, Trevor actually was a very, very main writer on the album. He wrote Owner of a Lonely Heart. He wrote most of the music. I think that when I got involved with the album, it just needed extra lyrics, a little bit more tune in the choruses, and 1 or 2 things that Trevor Horn felt that I could bring into the group. And as I mentioned earlier on the broadcast, that Trevor Rabin, you know, he's definitely a 10 out of 10 musician for me. He is very exciting to work with and very, very talented.
Thanks for the call, Christine. We appreciate you being on our show. We're going to now listen to another song from the album 3 Ships by John Anderson. The album is a nice blend of new songs and traditional Christmas songs, things like Jingle Bells and Oh Holy Night. We're going to play one of the originals right now. This one is called Where Were You by John Anderson on Rockline.
Okay, Bob.
John Anderson from the album 3 Ships. That is obviously not one of the songs that John wrote. That song has been around for quite a while now. And that is very, very pretty. Oh Holy Night, of course, is the name of the song. Who does the duet with you there, John?
That's Sandra Crouch, a wonderful, wonderful lady, and she came in and sang that with me. And it was an experience to work with her and her brother Andre Crouch and the gospel singers. When we decided to do the album, that was one of the tracks that so it sort of frightened me, because it's a heavy song. It's a very, very Christmassy song, and I was very happy to share the song with Sandra. It helped me immensely.
So one of the nice things about the album, it has a rock and roll sensibility, and yet it is very, very Christmassy. It's a nice package you put together. Let's speak with Jeff in Albany, listening to Pix 106. Hi, Jeff.
John?
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. How's Albany?
It's terrific. First of all, I'd just like to say it's a real honor to talk to you, and I just want to thank you for the countless hours of enjoyment that I've gotten from your music.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And what my question is for you tonight is, I'd like to know, of all the albums that you've worked on, both with Yes, solo albums, and with Vangelis, what is the album that you find to be a favorite?
Gosh.
Oh, that's a tough question.
Woo.
John, while you think about it a second, Jeff, what's your favorite album that John has
favorite Yes album?
Yeah.
I would have to say Close to the Edge.
Close to the Edge for you, huh?
I think it's a great album.
The Close to the Edge is probably one of the more organized of a Yes album. It has this kind of looking forward to doing a 20-minute piece of music, and the production was probably the finest that Eddie Offer ever did for the band. There's one song that I always feel was my favorite Yes song, and that's called Awaken.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's working with Vangelis is such a different thing, and it's very hard to commit myself to any one specific album, really. I just enjoy making music very much, and obviously at the moment for me, 3 Ships is in my mind constantly, because I've just finished it a month ago and it's coming out now. So again, I just look back and I'm very, very happy to have made the music that I've made, and I'm very happy to make music that makes people happy. It's a pleasure to do it, really.
Thank you for the call, Jeff. It's Dave's turn. He's in Philadelphia. Our station's 94 YSP. You're on the Rockline, Dave.
Roger Anderson.
Dave, Philadelphia.
Yes. I would first like to say that last night I had a chance to listen to you on live from the Hard Rock Cafe, and I agree with Paul Schaefer when he says that you have one of the most recognizable and if I might add, greatest voices in all of music.
Thank you.
And your question, please, Dave.
My question for you, John, is I recently had a chance to see the new 9012 Live concert film, and I would like to know what is the purpose or the significance behind all the audio-visual effects on the film?
I think the idea is very, very simple. To make a movie of a group is one thing, but to make a television movie of a group is a different concept. I think Chris Squire, when he spoke about it in an interview about a month ago, he explained it as a little bit better than I could, but he said there is a new move to making videos using modern technology, as in computer graphics and things. And it's something that we're all moving into. Whether we use it right or wrong is not really the point. As long as we use it and we try it out, I think sometimes you might win and sometimes you might lose. Swings and roundabouts when you try new sort of art, if you like. And I think we've done the right move by using the audio effects, the computer effects. I think it helps to enhance a television screening.
There you go, Dave. There's your answer. We appreciate you being on tonight. I gave such a big build-up to original music from the album Three Ships a moment ago that we've got to play something, and we'll do that after a brief timeout. One of the original songs by John Anderson coming up momentarily. It's Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn with John Anderson. Our final song tonight, we still have some more telephone time on the other side, is the song that opens the album Three Ships by John Anderson. This is Save All Your Love on Rockline. Save All Your Love by John Anderson from the album Three Ships. Actually, there are two versions of that song in the album, one that begins it and another that's a reprise at the end of side one. We have time for another call from Nashville, listening to 103 KDF in Nashville. We have Karen on the Rockline. Hi.
Hi, John. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I have a question for you. What's the most moving or exciting aspect of performing live in front of thousands of fans?
I think the main thing is that the energy that's created by the audience's need for something to happen, and the musicians, we get on stage and we need that audience as much as they need us, and the interaction of the two creates a very spontaneous high for me when I'm on stage. I come off stage feeling so high, it's incredible.
There you are, Karen, and we appreciate your call. We are, by the way, accepting your holiday good wishes and your cash and anything else. No, seriously, if you do need to get in touch with us, here's our address. It's P.O. Box S, Tarzana, California, 91356. Just kidding a little bit here. Next week, it's an evening with Pete Townsend. Coming soon, Asia, Roger Daltrey, Pat Benatar, and a whole lot more. What a great lineup we have had and will continue to have for you on Rockline. Thanks for the calls tonight. You were great on the air. And also thanks to our New York Rockline production team, especially Maria Carchidi. Maria, you're always great. To Jim Kerr from Simple Minds, and of course to John Anderson from Yes. John, thank you for being here. I have a couple of quick questions for you myself. I was told that you were involved in a cartoon soundtrack. Is that true? And if so, what is that about?
It's something that I was doing earlier this year. I think that it'll come out next year. I'm involved in one or two other film projects as well. So there's a lot of things happening for me at this time. It's great.
And the new Yes album, maybe spring, summer next year?
Well, we're definitely hoping for spring. You know, it's one of those things. We're halfway through making the album. Everybody's very excited about it. And we just look forward to finishing it, and actually getting on the road in the summer is something that we're really aiming for. So we got to go with it. That's the main thing.
I'll see you in concert next summer then, if not sooner. John, thanks again for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Bob.
Everybody in America, have a great Thanksgiving. I'm BC, and I'll talk to you in a week. Be seeing you then, all right?